What could help me lose weight? Could we uh, like bring some motivation and some healing and yeah, that
So who's
help
this for?
has help this person um uh, to get the dream. It's Johnny 1975.
Joni?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Johnny
Okay.
9.
Joni, 1975.
Mhm.
So what would help with kind of losing weight, kind of having a body reset?
Yeah, or maybe
Um,
what uh what didn't get what bother from losing weight or like yeah.
yeah, why is the body holding on to excess weight? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's look into Joni. And then she was 1975. So Joni,
Right.
let's look. Um, well, right away, like her body's tired. Her body's tired, and her body is tired of all the negative.
This is the male.
Oh, is it? Okay, thank you. So is it Joni
Johnny.
or Tony with a
Johnny.
T?
Johnny.
Oh, Johnny. Oh, okay, Johnny. Okay, all right, all right. Sorry. I thought you said Joni. So Johnny, 1975.
Mhm.
Johnny. Okay. So Johnny. Okay, let's look at Johnny's field. Okay, let's see. Yeah, he's got a lot of power. He's totally different than Joni. So whoever Joni in 1975, we're gonna let her go. So Johnny, 1975. So he has like some power. He has he's mostly in his present life now, almost like he's blocked the intuitive side of the body. So the left side, it's like he's blocked the like he's very grounded in the present, in the earth. Um, but the other side, like the intuition side and the um like it's like his body's split and he only has half a body. So, and well, it's not funny, but he's asking about weight, but really he's like split himself where he's very much anchored into the material, like the present world now. We're seeing that's very solid. He's very grounded, he's very solid, which is good. But then we're seeing the other side of him, which is like the intuitive side, the heart side, the love side, the self-love, the gut instinct, the intuition side, and we're seeing like it's empty. So like an empty refrigerator. So this refrigerator in the present life is full, and then the intuitive heart-based part, because we have more than the earth-based part. Um, so a lot of light workers and empaths and sensitives will have like no food in the refrigerator on the right side, and then they'll have everything on the left side. Like, they'll have such huge activated gifts of consciousness. And so he's like full, really full on one side, which is like what we call like the grounded human body, the grounded human being. But that's good because he's very grounded. He's very, so he'd be very um so somebody that is very grounded, their root chakra, the first energy center, for in terms of like manifesting and creating, he'd be actually very good in that area. And so we're seeing like that's his most activated energy center. So so we'd say he's like a good worker. He's good at making money. And then we go to the second chakra, the second energy center, which would be the sacral, which is emotions and relationship. And then it starts getting wobbly very quickly. So right away, he's like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. That's what he's telling us. I don't want to do any of that stuff. And um but he might not want to do any of that stuff, but his body is crying out for a balance. And and the human body wants to have the balanced of all the energy centers. And so he's really good with his root chakra. Like we can feel, he's very grounded. He's a good, manifester, builder, kind of creator kind of guy. So that's good. He's really developed that. But then as soon as we get to the second energy center, which is emotions and relationships, and then it goes offline. Like he's like, I'm not doing any of that. So, but look at what all that other energy centers. Then he has the solar plexus, which he asked about was what's the will? Like, how come I can't use my will to create these changes for myself and for my body? And then the heart, the heart is like, he's a good provider. So he's really good. He's got really good masculine energy, actually. He's really good. And then, but his heart, no way. He's saying that is a closed door, forget it. And then we go to the throat, and, he's like, I'm not telling people how I really feel. There's no way. And then we look at the third eye, which is his vision, and he can envision things, but as long as they're connected with the first chakra, the root chakra, which is in terms of creating. And then the crown, he's a bit activated in the crown, like in the top of the head. So that's the connection to source, to consciousness, but not much. So he's saying no, no. But we know he asked the question. So on some level, he does want to know. So because he asked the question. So that's really good. He's asking, he wants to know what is going on. And we're saying it is a question of balance. The rootedness into earth, and the as an earth-based being is, he has a full refrigerator. And then everything else, you know, there might be some moldy cheese. There's nothing much on the other side. And so, but the human being and the human body needs actually a balance of both. And so for some people, they have everything on the intuitive side, like they have a full refrigerator, and then they have barely anything in their earth-based body, or the connection to Gaia. So it's just we're going to say that this is a question not of willpower, because he actually has a good momentum with creating things, but it is an energetic imbalance. So his okay. He's like, what are you going to say? So what we're going to say is what we're going to say to him is what we would like to do is actually start activating your energy centers so that they are they're supposed to spin like in a spiral and energy. And then the root chakra, the first energy center is like, yeah, it's spinning, and he's co-creating, with the universe. He's co-creating with source and with Gaia, with earth. He's doing it. So we're saying that's really good. But all the other energy centers are barely open. And so his body is basically trying to um um his body is holding the pressure of what it feels like for those other energy centers to be closed. We're just going to release for him. And again, okay, so we just try to give everybody momentum, try to give everyone a chance to get a head start, in these sessions and these questions. So um the body is basically it it is constricted. So to us, he looks like he's thin like a stick, you know, but physically because the energy centers, there's no room for them because none of them are activating and they're not balanced. So we want to see the circulation and the activation of the other energy centers. But we get the message. He says no, like he's scared. So we're going to look at why is he scared and what can we do to help him in this time space? Because maybe he was scared, you know, we're seeing he was scared in childhood. So he's not little anymore, but the body is still protecting his little younger self. And so his little younger self doesn't know that he's grown up and he's accomplished and he's safe and he's secure and he's accomplished a lot in his life. So we want to say to his younger self, it's okay. You're not little anymore. You don't have to be stuck. And we can start, bringing you into the present and start expanding the energy centers, getting the energy flowing and all the other energy centers. So there's like a balance. The word that's coming through is that there's a homeostasis, but it's really a coming home to your own heart. And so the body is just trying to basically take the hit for the constriction. The other energy centers are so tight and closed, and it creates such a stress in the body and such a stress on the nervous system. And so that was the body's way of helping. So, like another example, say if people dissociate a lot or go out of their body a lot, then the body will put on weight to keep them weighted to the earth. But he's grounded, he's connected to the earth. So we're just going to gently start opening, with his higher self through the heart, with source consciousness, with the divine. We're just going to start opening the energy centers, to create a balance, and just kind of get the the body, mind, spirit kind of on the same page. So the soul is the spirit. So his body, he's actually very grounded in the earth. So he's um so yeah, we're just gonna clear his throat so he can speak his truth and feel safe. He doesn't have to be so nice. Doesn't have to be so nice to everybody. He can be nice, but do it because it's good for him too. Like to see that he's doing things for himself too. So like more co-creating. And then we're just gonna open all the energy centers just very gently. So they're very close. So we would say like 100% is open and spiraling beautifully. And we would say they're at 10%. So 10% is not a lot. So we're opening the energy centers one by one. So the root chakra is very anchored so that we're using that as a springboard. So the root chakra, and then the second one is the sacral. And then that's 2 inches below the belly button. So all the relationships, and then the solar plexus where the ribs meet, we're opening that one. So we're starting slow. So he's at 10. So we're starting like, okay, let's try 20. Let's see how he flows if we double it, so 10 to 20 is good. That's doubling. But, we want to get closer to like 100%. So we're just going to bring in actually source gold energy to help, and then to bring that into all of his cells, the source energy, source golden energy. So we're bringing in all the gold into all of the chakras, just one by one, just activating them one by one, nice and slow, so he doesn't feel overwhelmed. It's a lot of light, especially when you've kept those chakras closed for a long time. So yeah, he's had 5 decades with this. So like, let's just look at it being very gentle. but this is an opportunity because he's asking, so this is a really good opportunity, but who's he asking? He's asking his higher consciousness. He's asking his higher self. So I'm just moving the energy really gently. And then we're just going to ask for a source reset for Johnny, a source reset to his original design. That's kind of a fast track. So, because we know he doesn't want to go years and years like this, he wants to see results, he wants to see, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds. He wants to see it fall off easily and effortlessly. It's not about willpower, it's about energy and his energy centers and bringing in balance. And then once he feels balanced, he's going to feel, wow, he's so secure. He's going to think, wow, can this be real? Because it seems simple, but it actually, to view his whole system to see what the root cause is, takes that attention, and he asks the right question. So, or he asked a good question. There's no right questions. He just asked a good question. So we're just moving all the energy centers. So the sacral is now around 20, but we can feel it really hurts his jaw and his teeth on the left side. So we know that that's connected to those relationships are connected to when he was really little. So, but we're not going to go into the details of what happened when he was really little, but just that, we're honoring his younger selves and just letting them know that they don't have to be stuck anymore, that they can be integrated now into his heart and then to source, basically, but through the heart. So we're using the right side of his body because it's so developed. We're using it to help the other side of his body, the more intuitive side. So we're using that as an anchor, and then just bringing in, just showing the body, well, reminding the body, that it can let go now. Source is here, consciousness is here, his higher self is here, his younger selves are taken care of, and they're having a source reset. So in all time spaces, so really they're going to feel that healing. So we're clearing his throat chakra. So clearing his throat chakra. So yeah, we felt like we wanted to cough because it's a fast way of getting it out, but then we didn't want to cough on the recording. So we were like, what else do we do? So basically we did a cough, but through like using the throat muscles. So instead of it coming outwards, we use the muscles to process it. So that's good. He'll feel good. That's a good release. And then he's kind of like, oh no. So, because it's a lot of energy, it's a lot of light. So, but it's from source, right? So it's always for your highest and greatest good. And then you always choose to say yes or no. But we are suggesting or recommending that this is actually from him, from his higher self, and that it is connected from source. So we're just looking at all the energy centers, and we're going to start, we think doubling it to 20% is actually will be quite a lot. And then we'll just keep working with him. And then he can listen to this recording over and over, and then just keep activating all of the energy centers, and just opening. He just has to say yes to kind of like feeling that flow. But we're sending him a lot of source unconditional love and golden light to really be gentle with himself with these activations, and yeah, he's gonna feel a lot better. So yeah, the in activating the intuitive side of his being is gonna actually bring a lot of comfort, and it's gonna release this agitation that he has, because he's gonna feel like more whole, and then the body will release and unwind the weight as he is comfortable, because he has it there from that imbalance. So it was a way of the body, saying, I'm here for you until you're ready to look at this. I'm here for you. And then, we can just hold on. But now we're saying to the body, it can let go now. And then let the spiral of all the energy centers start opening, and then just bringing in that integration of both the material and the metaphysical. So we're just going to do an overall energy clearing. So kind of head to toe, toe to head, just really quickly, just bringing in the source golden light, kind of putting it all around him. So his body and consciousness kind of remembers that this is always available for him. So just imagining the gold light from source going from head to toe and toe to head and then all around. So yeah, and then he has one tooth that really hurts on the low part. We're going to just send some source energy work, some source gold light to the tooth, on the low side on the left. So it usually corresponds with like an organ as well. So, but we're just going to send the golden light from source to that area and then just see if it can shift. Yeah. Okay. He's going to feel like, whoa. When he starts feeling all the other energy centers, he's going to be like, wow, like this is how people feel. But he knows how this feels because he had this when he was little, and then he shut it down. But it makes sense, there's no judgment because it makes sense that of course he would have, the body will always protect you. So now we're letting the body know it can let go now. And then activating the self healer through the higher self, through the heart. And then right now there's like an agitation in him, and we're just basically like we just removed it for him. We just really wanted to give him like a source reset to really get a boost, to really get this kind of running for him, so we're kind of now we're it's good. So as soon as we said that, it's like, okay, now we're getting to 30%. Well, that's really good. With the energy center starting off at 10. Okay, now look, it didn't take us that long to get to 30%. But we're looking at the whole system and looking at his whole system, really wanting him to feel safe and integrated. Because at first, with the second chakra, it feels like, whoa, like, oh, like when you go up an elevator really fast, it's kind of when you bring in a lot of source golden light, that's what it can feel like if it's been like an area that's been blocked. So good, Johnny. We're like saying it's good. And so just keep going. You can do this. And then just, speak how you want to speak, like you matter, you're equal, and your perceptions are accurate. So all of this was activated when he was young, and then it got shut down. So we've just reminding the body to reactivate, and then he'll just continue with opening this, and he can just say, to his higher self, yes, I want source reset. Yes, I want source's golden light to come into all of the cells and all of the energy centers. Like, yes, I want this energy healing and clearing that's like a self-healing, right? Because it's you to source. So it's direct. There's no middle person. So it's you with source. And so yes, I want this healing and integration and this clearing. And then just seeing the energy centers move like in a spiral. So we're at 35%. So we're going to leave him with his higher self, knowing that the younger selves have been removed from those time spaces and have been integrated into his heart. And then did a source reset for head to toe, toe to head, and then back to front. And then all the energy centers are now activating, and they're like, moving along. So from 10, now they're at 35%. That is really good. But we want the refrigerator on one side to be equal on the other side. So to activate all of his gifts, these are gifts that these are all natural abilities and talents that he has that are on the intuitive side. And then just releasing again for him. And yeah, all right. So we're going to close now. We're going to close now for Johnny, just because this is a good start for him. So, and he can listen to this recording over and over again to get these activations and clearings. And then he's going to remember. So this isn't going to be foreign. His consciousness remembers and his consciousness knows. So yeah. All right, so now I'll just say goodbye to Johnny for now, and then just clear the space, bringing in source golden light to clear the space and clear in all time spaces so that Johnny is fully back with himself and his higher self and his team of consciousness. Yeah, so we're just going to clear him out. He has good energy. He's powerful. It's good. So we'll just, he's powerful, so he's sticking around, but we're saying it's good. We're going to clear. He can do the rest by himself. This is a good, really good activation and starting point. So, yeah. Mhm. So just asking your higher self for source reset can take care of a lot.